This is the L2C Media Network, and live from our Park Forest studios, this is Steve's Sporty Balls. Tonight, why we weren't on last night. Plus, all the latest sports news and everything else that we got for you, including some catching up. And now, here he is, stuffy nose, cold, and sinus problems. Our host, Steve the Backstab Baxley. Hey, hi there. Thank you, Harry. How you doing? You may notice a little change for just a little bit. That's right. It is a relaxing day here at the old studios, and so I decided, why not? Why not have a little relaxation? I mean, we deserve it. Actually, I must come a little clean to you folks. Um, I have been I'm fighting a cold, so hmm, so bear with me for a few seconds. I got to get some Kleenex. Forget if I had my napkin, I would do it, but let me get my Kleenex and we'll join you in a little short minute. Oh, God. Jeez. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, now, where were we yesterday? You're probably asking yourself as we put the camera over here. And, okay, time for a little story time. Un momento. Hmm. Well, we had a little technical problem. And so, great. I was invited to a birthday party for a good friend of mine. And with our technical issue, I thought, okay, don't have to worry. Got home at 3 in the morning. Worry. And yesterday I got a little cold, got a little chills, stuffy nose, watery eyes, glassy eyes, So went to the walk-in clinic here, and I'm happy to report that the streak continues. No COVID. That's right, no COVID. It's just a little cold, and I gotta take it easy. Hence, we're relaxing today. Now, with this is what I like. This chair, even though it's got a few little qualms to it, I can relax, be at peace. And now that we're in peace, let's get to some sports. And what sports, you may ask? That's right. Right now we're going to do things a little different. We're going to do the scores first. And in tribute to the lovely Miss Dandelion Fluff, we're going to start off with hockey. Not just any hockey, though. We got a full freaking slate of hockey for you. That's right. From Canada, North America, and all the ships at sea. So, today being the 16th, let's do it. Let's give you some hockey, folks. So, those of you that love hockey can Sleep well. So here we go. Some games are still going on as we speak. So here we go. The NHL, because we got some Canadian American hockey leagues as well. So here we go. The National Hockey League. Here are your finals right now. Seattle Kraken beat the Boston Bruins 4-1. Florida Panthers blanked the Buffalo Sabres, or for those of you down south, it's Sabres, by a score of 4-0. Los Angeles Kings danced on the Devils' graveyard, and they beat the New Jersey Devils. Hey, they're from New Jersey. Who knew? Huh? Who knew the Devils were from New Jersey? I thought the Devils were in Georgia. Anyway, that final score was 2-1. The New York Rangers beat Les Canadiens du Montréal by a score of 7-4. And the Anaheim not-so-mighty Ducks defeated the Ottawa Senators. I think that is about the 8th time the Senators lost. The first time, of course, every time they meet up with Trudeau. I keep thinking he's Pierre Trudeau, but I know he's his son. What's his name? Gerbil? I don't know. You get the Trudeau joke. Anyway, we continue. Hopefully we continue. Tampa Bay Lightning, Justin. Grazie. Yeah. Justin Trudeau, of course, he also beats the Ottawa Senators. Anyway, I got to learn the joke. So, by the way, to my friends in the Canadian media, salut. Bell Media, I'm afraid, maybe the first Canadian media group to go under. I'm not certain, but it's not looking good. Then again, that's my opinion. Anyway, continuing on. Tampa Bay Lightning defeated the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 4-3. Dallas Stars did a fandango on the Nashville Predators by a score of 9-2. Boy, somebody must have been in the caffeine for that team. Take care of yourself, Steve. You sound very stuffed up. I am. I'm going to be burning some ginger ale. Have some hot ginger ale. That'll probably put me to sleep. Anyway, here we go. We're continuing. Dallas Stars 9, Nashville Predators 2, St. Louis Blues. I have to get the kazoo for this. That's right. St. Louis Blues defeated the Edmonton Oilers. What has happened to the Edmonton Oilers? Wow. By a score of 6-3. Pittsburgh Penguins defeated the Chicago Blackhawks 4-1. Games that are still continuing in the third period. It is the San Jose Sharks up against the Calgary Flames, and wow, that was a nice 6-3. And the Vancouver Canucks lead the Detroit Red Wings by a score of 3-1. Now, before you go to bed, kids, we still got a little bit more hockey. In the Ontario Hockey League, the Saginaw Spirit squeaked out a win over the Barrie Colts 7-6. The Guelph Storm defeated the Peterborough Petes 4-1. In the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, let's hope I don't screw this up. The Blainville Boisbriand Armada defeated the St. John Sea Dogs 5-2. Drummondville Voltigeurs defeated the Val d'Or Furieux 2-0. The Rimouski Oceanique defeated the Sherbrooke Phoenix 5-3. And the Chicoutimi Sanguines. Oh, I love that word. Chicoutimi. Yes. Chicoutimi Sanguines defeated the Shawinigan Cataracts. Cataracts. I think that spells Cataractus. Cataractus. 5-1. Have me on sometime so I can pronounce all these places for you. Thanks. I'm going to need it. The WHL, the Moose Jaw Warriors beat up the Brandon Wheat Kings, so I guess we could say, that away, Brandon. That away. Okay, and in the AHL, the Coachella Valley Firebirds took care of the San Jose Barracuda 1-0. So there you go. And hockey fans, that is our hockey scores for now. We are about to head over to soccer. Hey, LDG, free the net. Free the breast. Anyway, here we go. In the Europa League knockout round playoffs, how many of these have we got? Wow. Hi there. Feyenoord and Roma tied at 1. Galatasaray defeated Sparta Prague 3-2. Shakhtar Donetsk and Marseille ended in a 2-2 tie. Sporting CP over the Young Boys 3-1. AC Milan over Rennes 3-0. Benfica over Toulouse 2-1. Lens and Freiburg Goose Egg City. Braga and Qarabag. Well, Qarabag beat Braga by a score of 4-2. Yes. In other crazy soccer/football news, in the women's friendly, the Lebanon women defeated the Syria women 3-1. I'm reading these scores, my gosh. I mean, soccer is big around the world. Let's in the Premier League International Cup knockout stage, Chelsea lost to Zhang by a score of 2-1. And do we have any other big-time scores? Oh, yes. Liga de Expansion MX Clausura from Mexico. Oh, boy. Mineros de Zacatecas and Tepatitlán de Morelos tied at 1. League Premier Series B, Chilango and Artesanos Metepec tied at 1. Boy, there's a lot of ties. And that's a look at soccer. But wait, about 10 minutes, it'll be midnight. And we're about a third of the way out of the show here. Wow. Okay, let's get to basketball. Big night in college hoops for the ladies. Let's first give you all the action from the NBA, where the Memphis Grizzlies squeaked out a 3-point victory over the Milwaukee Bucks, 113-110. The Golden State Warriors decided to silence the Utah Jazz 140-137. And in the third quarter, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves howling over the Portland Trailblazers 88-70. In the NBL in Australia, the Illawarra Hawks over the Perth Wildcats 108-92. In the Canadian Basketball Super League, KW Titans lost a heartbreaker over the Montreal Tundra, or Tundra, 104-101. I'm going to learn these names, or my name isn't whatever my name is. And We don't have a score yet on Windsor Express and the Sudbury 5, but we hope to before tomorrow. Okay, here we go. We got the NC2A. In fact, we're going to do something a bit strange here. Pardon us. We want to send congratulations to a record person. That's right. She made it. She did it. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark broke the NC2A women's scoring record. Applause, applause, applause. Let's give you a little bit of the verbiage, courtesy of our friends over at CBS Sports. Iowa star Caitlin Clark has officially broken the all-time NC2A women's scoring record, and she did so in extraordinary fashion. Thank you. Clark scored a career-best 49 points during her record-setting night, making Iowa's 106-89 win against Michigan on Thursday one to remember. Clark ended Thursday's game with 3,569 career points. Woo! Yep. Okay. And she'll surely add a bunch more to that total over the rest of the season. Clark told the crowd after the game, "I'm just really grateful, thankful for everyone who came out tonight and supports our team night in and night out." This wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for these girls standing right here, my coaches, my family's over here. They let me be me every single day, and I'm just lucky I get to wear Iowa on my chest, and Coach Lisa Bluter lets me be Caitlin. I'm just really grateful, but we've got a lot more winning to do, so let's go. The previous NC2A women's scoring record was 3,527 points, which two-time WNBA champion Kelsey Plum tallied during her time playing with the Washington Huskies. Clark was just 8 points shy of the record before Thursday. The history-making bucket occurred just 2 minutes and 12 seconds into the game. It arrived in the most Caitlin Clark way possible, a three-pointer from the Iowa Hawkeye logo. And I wish we could play it, but once again, we're low budget. Actually, we're Velcro budget, but we're still low budget. Can't afford the rights, can't afford the lefts. So trust us, it was an amazing shot. You'll probably see it on all the sports channels. A sold-out crowd at Carver Hawkeye Arena got to witness a special moment, and Clark immediately received a rousing ovation. Despite Clark discouraging it, Iowa coach Lisa Bluter called a timeout to give Clark, her teammates, and the fans a quick moment to celebrate. Clark didn't just break the record. She arrived to the game on a mission to absolutely destank it. That's right. Well, no, eviscerate it. That's what I was looking for, eviscerate it. She registered 23 points in the first quarter, went on to finish with 49 and 13 assists. This was Clark's 12th 40-point game, as well as a new single-game scoring record for Iowa. Coach Bluter said, "When you do it well," and she has. Can we lower just a touch, please? We're going to have to learn how to center the camera. There we go. There we are. Now we're happy. While Clark has already claimed the NC2A women's scoring title, her record chasing is far from over. It is also possible that she will surpass the overall Division I scoring record of 3,667 points that Pistol Pete Maravich tallied at LSU. The sports world, not just college basketball, but the whole entire sports universe, has placed a bright spotlight on Clark that could feel like a lot of pressure for anybody, even the biggest stars, but she has been embracing it all. And after the game, Clark hugged her family and watched an emotional video with messages from those closest to her. Iowa fans stayed in the arena for the post-game celebration. A video of her greatest moments played at Carver Hawkeye Arena as the new women's all-time scoring leader took it all in like magic. Alicia Keys' Girl on Fire played while Clark's teammates picked her up. She had the game ball in her hands, and her teammates carried newspapers with her picture in the front and the headline, which says it all, unmatched. And she sure is unmatched. Congratulations, Caitlin Clark. You did something incredible, but that incredibility continues. Okay, let's get you updated on the men. Speaking of college hoops, let's get you updated on the men's and women's basketball games. Let's go for update. With 11 seconds left to play in the opening quarter, it's St. Mary's over Pepperdine by a score of 40-26. There it is. Excuse me for a moment. Purdue, number 2 ranked Purdue, defeated Minnesota 84-76. And number 24 FAU defeated Temple 80-68. Now, that's the men's. Here's the women's. 10 seconds left to play in regulation. It's LBSU, Long Beach Southern University, defeated UC Davis 78-52. Final score, or actually leads, but we might as well say that they defeated UC Davis 78-52. Hopefully by the time the game is over, we'll bring you an update. But here's some scores, finals. Cleveland State, a 78-63 win over Oakland. FIU, Florida International, over Sam Houston, 64-49. Marshall over Appalachian State, 87-78. Georgia State over James Madison, 73-62. Canisius, a 68-52 winner over Marist. In overtime, it was Ole Miss, a 77-67 winner over Florida. Maine, 80. Bryant, 57. Niagara, 84. Siena, 70. Illinois, 86. Penn State, 71. Mount St. Mary's, and if you do, please keep it to yourselves. 54, Quinnipiac. That's me. Quinnipiac. Boom, boom. Quinnipiac. Hey. Quinnipiac 45. Morehead State 50. Little Rock 47. Eastern Illinois 71. Southeast Missouri State 52. University of Louisiana Monroe 68. South Alabama 60. SIUE 69. A very workable number, by the way. Lindenwood, 67. Central Arkansas over Bellarmine, 63-57. I am going to try to get my tongue to work. Southern Mississippi over Arkansas State, 57-48. Feel better soon. I'm off to sleep. Trust me, when I feel better soon, you'll be the first to know, because I'll be doing an Irish jig on the next show. Southern Miss over Arkansas State, 57-48. Ryder. I don't know her. Ryder over Iona, 45-43. The Qs. Syracuse, 71. Miami of Florida, 60. Get back over here. Good night, Dandelion Fluff. Let's see. North Carolina over Pittsburgh, 75-62. North Carolina State over Notre Dame, 59-43. Florida State over Wake Forest, no relation to Park Forest, 71-63. Missouri State over Indiana State, 59-51. Vermont over New Hampshire, 75-41. Texas State, a loser, Detroit, 85-69. Southern Indiana University, 73. UT Martin, 67. Tennessee Tech, a 77-66 winner over Western Illinois. Eastern Kentucky over Northern Alabama, 84-57. Furman over Wolford, 64-51. FDU over LIU. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Excusez-moi. There. FDU over LIU, 84-57. Binghamton over UMBC, 52-44. UNCG over Samford, 52-44. Green Bay over Robert Morris, 60-50. St. Peter's over Manhattan, 61-55, plus some beads and cheap jewelry. South Carolina over Tennessee, 66-55. St. Francis of Pennsylvania over Wagner, 76-60. Mercer over West Carolina, 76-62. PFW over Milwaukee, 75-55. Albany over New Jersey Tech, 38-36. Damn, that must have been a slow game. Merrimack over Stonehill. Stetson over Queens, 62-44. FG, the Florida Gold Coast over Kennesaw State, 77-42. Merrimack over Stonehill, 74-56. Lemoyne, 62. Coastal Carolina, 54. Auburn over Kentucky, 78-50. Abilene Christian over UT Rio Grande Valley, 76-69. Louisiana over Georgia Southern, 62-57. Nebraska of Omaha, not to be confused with Mutual of Omaha. Nebraska of Omaha defeated South Dakota by a score of 77-67. Louisville by 2 over Boston College, 69-67. Georgia Tech over Clemson in a squeaker, 64-63. Lamar beats Southeast Louisiana by 7, 67-60. Drake over Missouri, 81-75. In overtime, it was Evansville over South Illinois, 93-89. Valparaiso over Bradley, 68-50. Jacksonville over North Florida, 77-60. New Orleans over Nicholls State, 80-78. Incarnate Word over Texas A&M Community, 72-61. Illinois State over Illinois Chicago, 64-61. Belmont over Northern Iowa, 84-72. Iowa over Michigan, as we told you, 106-89. UT Arlington over Tarleton State, 71-58. North Dakota State over Oral Roberts, 83-73. North Dakota over Denver by 10, 75-65. Middle Tennessee over New Mexico State, 73-37. Sacramento State over Northern Arizona, 82-66. Northern Colorado over Portland State, 65-48. Idaho, you the pimp, 60-47 over Weber State. Utah Valley in overtime beat Cal Baptist, 92-89. South Dakota State beat UMKC, 74-53. Virginia Tech over Duke, 61-56. Texas A&M Texas A&M CC over Northwestern State, 68-52. Vanderbilt over Texas A&M, 49-45. Eastern Washington over Idaho State, 59-56. UTEP over Western Kentucky, 73-68. Grand Canyon over Utah Tech, 88-41. Cal Baker over CS Northridge, 61-50. Pacific over Portland by a score of 80-74. San Diego over Pepperdine, 69-49. Santa Clara over San Francisco, 73-65. Seattle over Southern Utah, 75-71. UC Riverside, down by the riverside, hey. 67-56. LBSU over UC David by a score of 78-52. And UCSB, University of California, Santa Barbara, over the University of California, San Diego, 60-52. In golf, in the first round of the Genesis Invitational, Patrick Cantlay holds a one-shot lead over Cam Davis and Luke Least and Jason Day, all with 6 under, while Patrick has 7 under. And in a tie for fifth, Tom Hogue. Okay, let's get over to the big one. We only got one game remaining in the NHL that is still going on. The Canucks over the Red Wings 3-1, 12:43 remaining in regulation. We've given you all the other scores. We'll do it one more time. Kraken over the Bruins 4-1. Kings over the Devils 2-1. Ducks over the Senators 5-1. Rangers over the Canadiens 7-4. Maple Leafs over the Flyers in overtime 4-3. Lightning over the Avalanche 6-3. Blues over the Oilers 6-3. Predators a loser to the Stars. They got spanked 9-2. Sharks over the Flames 6-3. And Penguins over the Blackhawks 4-1. And in Argentina, Primera Division football, Vélez Sarsfield defeated Deportivo Ristra 2-1. Belgrano and Platense tied at 1. Instituto defeated and blanked Rivadavia by a score of 2-0. Talleres de Cordoba over Argentinos Juniors 2-1. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guess what? Them's the scores. And we are in the second half of this broadcast. Oh, golly, thank you. Boy. Excuse me for a moment. Tomorrow I get some over-the-counter stuff. Claritin and some Flonase. Might put me to sleep. Some hope. Okay, let's get you some sports news, if we can, before we hit the entertainment world. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred on Thursday told reporters that his current term of office will be his final one. That means he will step down as the commissioner when his term ends in 2029. Manfred said via Evan Drelich, quote, "You can only have so much fun in one lifetime. I've been open with them, the owners, about the fact that this is going to be my last term." The 65-year-old Manfred will be age 70 when he steps aside. He has served as MLB's top officer since January of 2015 when he was elected to replace Bud Selig. Prior to ascending to the commissioner's office, Manfred was MLB's chief operating officer under Selig and before was executive vice president of the league. As one of Selig's leading lieutenants, Manfred spearheaded labor relations and collective bargaining negotiations with the Major League Baseball Players Association. And as commissioner, he has dealt with his share of challenges and upheavals. And speaking of upheavals, I got to go up on the chair here. That list includes the Houston Astros sign stealing scandal, the COVID abbreviated 2020 season, and the suite of rule changes designed to shorten the game times and alter the pace of play at the highest level of baseball. Others include reducing the number of affiliated minor league franchises, the first labor stoppage, and owner lockout since 1994, and ongoing A's relocation fiasco. Before Manfred's final term is up, he must contend with pressing issues such as the future of streaming and the possibility of a direct consumer platform, possible expansion from 30 to 32 teams, and negotiation of the next collective bargaining agreement leading to the expiration of the current CBA in 2026. In January 2023, Manfred was reelected to his third and what will be his final term as the commissioner. And I will say, I will give I will give the devil his due. He has done very fair. I won't say how fair, but he has done very fair. He's had a tough go at things, and I understand the fans, boo or may not like uh, some of the rules, but it has been fun, hasn't it? I think so. Okay, let's go to college football. Some off-season news. After years of debates and multiple rounds of voting, the college football playoff finally approved a new expanded 12-team format for the upcoming season. And for about 8 months, the future of the sport's postseason seemed to stabilize. And last summer, the Pac 12 imploded. The Big Ten, Big 12, and ACC all swooped in and picked at the Pac 12's remains, swelling their numbers and drastically changing the math in the college football landscape. The result sent the CFP power brokers back to square one, since that's where we've been. And we have seen debates on format meetings with no votes and votes with no results. The board of managers for the college football playoffs will meet again next week, and it's expected, according to the four-letter network, ESPN, they will vote to move from the current 6+6 model to a new 5+7 format that will reduce the number of automatic bids for conference champions to 5, adding an additional at-large bid. Now, it's not a perfect change without flaws or a downside for some, but it should have a positive impact for both the regular season and the CFP's first round. Now, why the holdup, you may ask? Yes, why the holdup? Well, expansion to 12 teams was formally approved for the 2024 and 2025 seasons on December 1st, 2022. At that time, a 6+6 format provided access for champions for more than half of the FBS conferences. Any changes to the playoff format or the financial distribution model requires a unanimous vote. And to this point, change off of that 6+6 has not garnered unanimous support from the board. Because while the Pac-12 no longer has enough teams to hold a regular season conference schedule or a conference championship game, it does still have a seat in the CFP meetings. Its representative, Washington State President Kirk Schultz, is reportedly the holdup. He is concerned on how the two remaining schools, Washington State and Oregon State, will be paid out in the next CFP contract without knowing what their affiliation will be. The hope is next week's meeting will allow the board to resolve the issue one way or another, bringing clarity to the playoff race for this coming season. Now, there was a period of time when the Pac-12's demise appeared to be a win for a group of 5 conferences. The American, Mountain West, Sun Belt, Conference USA, and the MAC agreed to the 6+6 format, knowing they would likely be competing for one playoff spot among them, similar to how things previously worked for the New Year's 6 Bowls. But heading into this coming season, there are only 4 power conferences in college football, and a 6+6 format increases the access for the conference champions from those leagues. But staying at 6+6 is a break away from the intended balance in the field. 6 automatic bids between 10 FBS conferences allowed for automatic playoff access to a majority of leagues. It's also more or less fell in line with how the selection committee has ranked teams throughout the 10-year history of the 4-team playoff. But with 9 FBS conferences giving 6 automatic bids away, that has changed the balance of the bracket and put another conference champion into the field. Finding the next best conference champion after the New Year's 6 representative is much more difficult. In several previous seasons, that would have meant a playoff representative from outside the top 25. Now, adding importance to that, the 6+6 model guarantees at least 2 group of 5 conference champions, While it's possible those two teams would be in the top 10 on Selection Sunday, that scenario doesn't seem likely based on rankings from previous years. So those teams would probably go into the CFP as the number 11 and 12 seed in most seasons. That gives the number 5 and number 6 seed a home game against a group of 5 team in the first round. Meanwhile, a 5+7 model probably only puts one group of 5 in the field, likely number 12 seed based on rankings from past seasons. In that scenario, the only way to avoid a first round matchup against one of the top at large teams is to win your conference or be the highest ranking non champion. That feels like a more exclusive club and an honor that's worth fighting for in the final weeks of the season. Win your conference to be the next best team or face a likely top 10 team in a one-off on-campus setting with your season on the line. And it goes from there. So we will have more on this tomorrow. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, boy. Achoo! Achoo! Oh. Oh, God. Achoo! Achoo! Oh, boy. Achoo! Thanks, Matt. Hopefully I can do this. Give me a minute. I'm going to burn me some ginger ale. Well, yeah. Give me a little pause. I'll be right back. We'll talk about LSU running back Trey Holly and a little problem that he's got. Just a moment. I'll be back. I gotta go burn some ginger ale. I'll be back. I'll be back in a moment. Please stay with me. There we go. Oh. Okay. Here. There. Hang on, folks. I'll be coming. Where's the other? Here's the K. Swell. Okay. There we go. All right. There. Okay. Howdy. There we go. And here we go. Okay. We're going to make it. We got about 14 minutes. We're going to make it. LSU running back Trey Holly was arrested Thursday on 3 felony charges, including attempted second-degree murder, according to the Union Parish Sheriff's Office in Farmerville, Louisiana. Holly turned himself in and was booked at the Union Parish Detention Center. He's being held on a $512,000 bond. LSU has suspended Holly indefinitely from all team activities, the school spokesperson told ESPN. Holly was one of 3 people arrested in connection with the February 9th shooting that left 2 people injured, NOLA.com reports. The Union Parish Sheriff's Office determined that the shooting stemmed from an earlier altercation at a set of apartment buildings. The sheriff's investigation also found that at least 3 shooters fired multiple rounds. Holly just wrapped up his freshman season with the Tigers. He finished the year with 11 carries for 110 yards and 1 touchdown and preserved his redshirt eligibility by playing in just 3 games. He had 91 of those yards and scored his lone touchdown on the season in a blowout win against Army. Holly signed with LSU in 2023 out of Union Parish High School in Farmerville. A 3-star prospect, he was as the number 39 running back in his class and the number 25 player in the state of Louisiana. According to 24/7 Sports, he started playing varsity football as an 8th grader and holds the state of Louisiana all-time high school rushing record with 10,523 yards. Thank you, everybody. We're putting up with what's been going on here. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, how's this for another Valentine's Day? Los Angeles Clipper forward P.J. Tucker has been fined $75,000 by the NBA for making public trade demands, the league announced on Thursday. The full press release. The NBA announced today that LA Clippers forward P.J. Tucker has been fined $75,000 by the NBA for public comments reported during the week of February 5th, expressing a desire to be traded to another team. 38-year-old Tucker was acquired by the Clippers in the James Harden trade on Halloween. He appeared in 12 games for Los Angeles, and then he was removed from the rotation, having not played since November 27. It is not surprising he wanted to be traded. Tucker told Anscape's Mark Spears, "I wanted to be somewhere where I'm needed, wanted, and can do it all." On the morning of February 8th, hours before the 3 p.m. Eastern deadline, quote, "I don't know what's going to happen, but I have my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping to go somewhere else where I can get bought out, whether I can get bought out, and I choose where I want to go or where I can play." Now, in a story published on February 1st, Tucker told the Athletic's Law Murray that he was being a professional while trying to, quote, "while trying to get in a better situation for me personally," end quote. Asked about talking to Clippers coaches about what his role might be in Los Angeles, he said, quote, "That's something I think would happen more down the line. We'll see what happens these next 2 weeks going into February 8th. They'll just have to figure it out from there," end quote. Back on December 11th, Tucker told Clutch Point's Tomer Azerly, quote, "I feel like I still got a lot to contribute to a team to be able to win, whether that's here or somewhere else. I know myself, my worth. I know what I bring. I know what I brought. I know what I can continue to bring. And with that, I want to be able to go to a good team that I can be able to help that," end quote. Tucker said he understood there was no role for him with the Clippers at the time, and that, quote, "obviously playing 0 minutes is not what I want to do right now in the stage of my career." When the deadline came and went without a Tucker trade, he posted, "All this bleep is an effing joke," on his Instagram story. Bleacher Report's Chris Haynes, however, reported that he would not request a buyout. The next day, The Atlantic reported that the Clippers front office believes that Tucker could still help them in the postseason, since his strength could be valuable defending players like Nikola Jokic or Zion Williamson. On Wednesday, The Athletic reported that Tucker, along with guard Bones Highland, had been sent home from their road trip early. Tucker has an $11.5 million player option for next season. Last season, he started 75 games for the Philadelphia 76ers, averaging 25.6 minutes and averaged 26.7 minutes in 11 playoff games. Now, the $75,000 fine is the largest any NBA player has received during the regular season, and the largest since James Harden was fined $100,000 for public trade demands in August. Okay, 12:26, and as they say, let's keep going. Okay. Well, NASCAR had their duels today and tonight. Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell won the two Blue-Green Vacations dual races Thursday, with both making daring last lap passes in their respective races to earn the third and fourth starting spots in Sunday's Daytona 500. As Reddick and Bell both drove to victory lane, Jimmy Johnson and Kaz Grala earned the final two available spots in the Great American Race, narrowly qualifying thanks to races for the transfer spot that weren't decided until coming into the tri-oval to the checkered flag. The complexion of Sunday's Daytona 500 was altered enormously through the duels, particularly through a major multi-car accident in duel number 2 that destroyed the primary cars of Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch while also collecting other contenders. Their troubles paled in comparison to J.J. Yaley and B.J. McLeod, both of whom failed to qualify for Daytona 500 in heartbreaking fashion. The duels set quite the tone for the 500, offering a potential preview of the most important lap of all. Both Reddick and Bell led only the last lap in winning their duels. Reddick's winning move came toward the end of the backstretch on the final lap as he cut to the inside of Kyle Larson and then held off a run by Chase Elliott off turn 4 to get back to the finish line first. As that took place, Jimmy Johnson, whose Daytona 500 bid was jeopardized when he was collected in a 4-car crash late in Duel 1, prevailed in his battle with Yaley to be the highest finishing open car. In the final quarter, Yaley responded to a checkup by Ross Chastain by cutting to the outside, leaving him without drafting help and leaving the inside open for Johnson to go through. Johnson beat Yaley to the line to secure his Daytona 500 spot, avoiding a disaster scenario that would have seen him fail to qualify for the first time in his Hall of Fame career. While Johnson's While Johnson's late race spins significantly heightened the urgency at the end of Duel 1, the turning point of Duel 2 was far more brutal. A massive crash broke out in the tri-oval with 13 laps to go, which began when William Byron got turned sideways into Ryan Blaney, sending the defending Cup Series champion hard into the wall and triggering a crash that collected 11 of the 21 cars in the race, one of whom, B.J. McLeod, was in position to qualify for the Daytona 500 as an open car. He had another hard impact in a crash at Daytona. He had a vicious head-on hit in a similar accident last August. Blaney voiced his frustrations after emerging from the infield care center. McLeod was able to recover from the accident to stay in the lead pack, but the ensuing caution allowed Kaz Grala, who lost the draft following green flag pit stops, to get back in the mix for the final available spot in the field. Grala was able to beat McLeod by a car length to make the field as Christopher Bell pulled off a last lap pass on Denny Hamlin and held off both Harrison Burton and Austin Cindric to give Toyota a sweep of the two duels. The end result of the two dual races was a number of race teams who will have to repair their Daytona 500 cars or go to a backup car outright. Ryan Blaney, William Byron, and Daniel Hemrick were among those set to head to backups, while others like Brad Keselowski and Todd Gilliland will repair their primary cars following Thursday night and ahead of practice on Friday afternoon. Now, with their primary cars both intact following the duels, pole sitter Joey Logano and outside pole sitter Michael McDowell will both keep their starting positions Sunday and lead the field to the green flag in the 66 Daytona 500. So there you go. Simple and to the point. And speaking of to the point, I think it's a good time that we end it there. I know we got a lot more stuff to tell you, but it is 31 minutes past midnight. And as you can hear me, I'm going to take a big old snooze. So, folks, I'm going to end this a little early. Thank you guys for bearing with me through the cold here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, turning on, and enjoying. And we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, in full voice and full clarity. Until then, this is Steve the Maxman Baxley, relaxing, recuperating, and just enjoying a late night bit of lunacy. Hey, you got to do something, don't you? That's right. And we love doing what we do best. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions. Kleenexes provided by Kimberly Clark. And I've used so many of these Kleenexes, I swear to God, I should be buying the stock. But hell or high water, we will have a show tomorrow night. Thank you, everybody, for watching, for caring, and for hanging on with me. I think my little hot drink is about done. So I'm going to say to each and every one of you, good night. We should be back to some type of normality tomorrow, unless somebody can give me a definition of the word normal. I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley. That's all, folks. We'll see you tomorrow night. Hopefully feeling a bit more better. Good night, everybody.